words relate to the key. If it's a pattern, then repeat and repeat after me. Life and death and love and birth and life and death and love and birth. And you sing me, fa mi, ti, la, and these and more on the planet Earth. Hey, hey.
Well. Hello. It is Monday. Another chorus stream. We're in a hotel.
I guess we.
It's Monday. Oh, and we're tired, even though
so
it's our
tired.
first day back on the road.
Oh, so much tiredness.
So much tired. Not that much driving. Enough driving.
Well, today was a long day of driving.
Yeah, reasonably.
That was one of, to start off with a long day of driving.
Like 7 hours, something like that.
Yeah.
Well, as we hear, it's the Monday corn stream. We're still on the modified anything goes stream schedule. I missed last Thursday, but that's the way it is. This Thursday, again, we'll see what happens. I'll be back home for Monday, so hopefully I can do the normal thing. October has been going strong. So far, I've done every single day. Today's day 5. I just posted it, uploaded it everywhere: YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, you name it. That's been fun. It is kind of fun to do it like not at home. I was telling her it's like, when I'm at home and I have everything, it's like, oh, what do I do? But now it's like, oh, I have to figure out what I can do, which can make it more interesting. But maybe we'll see if I actually am able to do something for the rest of this week.
Too bad I couldn't bring all those instruments with me.
You could have brought some of them.
I thought about it.
I was like, why not? Bring some of those shakers and the maracas and stuff.
So basically, all the instruments that you've been seeing are actually my mom's. My mom, she got her master's in music therapy, and along her travels and along all the conventions that she's been collecting all of these instruments, and we have a lot in our basement of my parents' home. Just I wish I took a video of like how many instruments my mom actually owns, and which I will be inheriting eventually. And they come from all over the world, so I'm like really excited to eventually have them. But I was like, I just didn't want to potentially like lose them or ruin them, and so I just it's probably best if I didn't bring them this time around. Um, Take things a little bit at a time, but I need like an actual like place that I can trust I can place them. But they're really cool. We found some really interesting things in there that I hadn't seen in a really long time. Um, and we found because we were gonna do this one thing with like a Japanese what was it called? It was a wooden Japanese instrument.
Pokiriko, something like that.
Yeah, and it was really cool, fascinating and stuff. We decided not to do that one, um, but it's been kind of cool, just having something other than your like normal instrument playing and just listening. It's been nice.
Yeah, well, especially since like I did a trumpet one today, but like most of the time I've only been able to like buzz in the mouthpiece, which is not something I normally do. And I brought a horn that I haven't used in a few years because I have another horn that I bought, another B flat that I bought that I use more often. But I was like, I'm gonna bring the cheaper horn on this trip just in case. And so just a combination of things, it's a little bit weird playing it, but so it was kind of nice playing, picking up and trying to figure out these random instruments, and you know, it's a different kind. It's kind of it's like buying a new toy to play with, and it inspires you in a different way. You're thinking about it differently. So it would have been nice to bring one of those along to kind of mess with. But I have some other ideas for stuff because I don't think for the rest of this week, I'm gonna be able to really do anything else on trumpet unless we have a lot of time
Which
on one day, which
I
I don't
don't
think we
think.
do.
No,
I
I
think
think like the longest day we have is actually this next tomorrow. I think that's really it.
tomorrow's not actually not very long.
No,
Um,
as far as driving is concerned,
Not a
it
lot of
will be.
driving. It's actually it could be a fairly short day depending on how much we do. It
Yeah.
could be one of the shorter days. But we have some fairly long days. I don't think we really have days where we have a lot of time to kind of hang out. I don't have time to like go and find a place like in a parking lot somewhere to go set up and play the trumpet. So I'll figure some things out. I have some ideas. Um, but yeah, we had a good time last week. I think seeing folks and
Yeah.
hanging out.
Yeah, considering I hadn't seen them in a little bit over a year. I hadn't been at my hometown in a year and a half.
A little over, yeah.
Yeah. Um, and so it's really nice to go over, and I couldn't really see a lot of my friends because of COVID, and so we did a lot of virtual hangs. So even though at least we're on the same like time
Time
zone,
zone,
um, it was still nice to actually like see their faces and be able to talk to them and catch up. And I did go see I was able to see one friend, and I was actually able to see some family.
yeah. Extended family.
Yeah. Well,
Yes.
extended family. Yeah. Okay. Um, and some close friends that are basically family. And that was also really nice because I hadn't seen them in actually a couple of years, I
Mm.
think, at this point. So, and they're all getting on the older side, and it was just really nice to be able to spend that time in a really really nice area.
Right. And that was the first time I'd seen
And
basically any of them.
yeah, and so they all knew of you but had not met you officially. So it was nice to give them a face to the name.
Mm-hmm.
Well, half of a face to the
Half,
name,
half.
since it was covered. Um, yeah, we went to. I mean, are we able to tell them where we went?
Uh, I mean, if you want, yeah.
I mean, so we were on the East Coast. There's a place if there are people watching, they ever go to the East Coast and they ever want to go to Pennsylvania. There is a place called Longwood Gardens. It's a nationally recognized garden. It's by far, I think, the prettiest, most beautiful garden in the country that I have been to so far.
I had never heard of it until you brought it up, and then we went, and I had my GoPro with me and everything, and I was just using it, and I was like, there's so much. We spent, several hours there. Obviously, we had some of that time, meeting with people and eating and stuff like that. But there's just so much to see. There's so many different areas and so much different, features and, different, flora and such.
Mm-hmm.
It is a very beautiful, picturesque kind of place. It's massive.
I mean, we
Um,
literally walked. I think we like. My mom was saying like this is the most time she'd ever spent in Longwood Garden ever, and we still didn't see. We got there at like noon, and we were there until 7. So we spent 7 hours in a garden, and only got to see maybe 85% of
Yeah,
that
definitely
garden.
we
It's
could have
huge.
we didn't even really take our time that much either. Like
No.
there were certain areas we were like stopping to like take pictures and stuff like that, and I was setting up some fun GoPro. So I was trying out some of these shots where like I put the camera ahead of us and I pretend like we're walking up to the camera, or I put the camera behind us and we walk past the camera and stuff like that.
But
And
all the
so,
people.
some of these areas there was a little too much foot traffic. So there's one shot where like I put the camera like in front of a bridge and we walk past the camera and then this couple is walking towards the camera and you can tell them kind of looking at it and they're like they're kind of like, what is the deal with this camera, you know? And then I stop recording and I walk back and pick it up, you know. It's kind of interesting, like doing these kind of shoots and like taking these kind of videos, because then you really think about, and like doing like vlogs and stuff like that. I did a couple like really short ones. I'm not sure. Again, I'm not sure what I'm gonna use all this for, but I was just like trying to get the footage just because you never know. And it's like I can't imagine being the kind of person like I don't even want to be outside, even if no one was around me, and like talking in front of a camera and be like, "Hey guys, what's up YouTube? This is what's going on with my life." And you imagine people like in a busy like city, like talking to a camera, because it's their job, and they're like, you know, a lot of these YouTube personalities are just they basically there's their personalities that they're loud and they yell a lot. So you know, being that yelling person in the middle of a crowded city, like yelling at a camera, you know, that is annoying. But all the other stuff is, you know, it's interesting to experience it and you get an appreciation for what it takes to set up some of these shots. Like I don't know, there was a show. You ever watched Survivor Man on Discovery Channel?
No,
You ever got
I
Discovery?
don't have I never had
Oh yeah,
cable.
Survivor Man, Les Stroud, where it was a survival show. I know Bear Grylls is the more popular one, but Les Stroud is the you know, he's the real deal because he would go in there, no camera crew. He would do the survival stuff and film himself. So he'd be setting up these crazy shots where like he would like put the camera at like the base of a cliff and then climb the cliff and then climb back down and get his camera or whatever, you know, stuff like that. Which is a lot more involved than what I was doing, but you know, again, doing it, you get a different appreciation of how you set up those kinds of shots um, when you're actually doing it yourself. Um, yep. Um, but yeah, we're back on the road again. So
Yeah.
said our goodbyes and everything. Chilling at the hotel.
Yeah,
Tired.
very.
Um,
Man, it's funny because I feel more tired with this drive than I feel like I potentially do with the other drives. Like
we just
going.
started tired. That's why. I
Yeah.
don't know what it was.
I don't know. I didn't sleep well last night. I slept okay, but it wasn't like it wasn't great.
Yeah, I didn't sleep great. So hopefully you can sleep a lot more. We got a little sleep in tomorrow. Then we're meeting some friends. We're actually meeting a few friends this week, um, which should be fun. And we're gonna go horseback riding on Saturday.
Is that on Saturday?
Saturday.
I'm so excited for
Yeah,
that.
it's fun. It's like I want to go back home and like sleep in my own bed and like I have stuff that I want to do, but like we still have like fun things that we're gonna be doing for the rest of this trip. Um, It's just interesting. Like I think we both had a similar feeling, although probably you more so. Like when we were at Longwood with your family, was like, and I said this when we were there. It was like it's nice to be here, but it's hard to like, you know, it's like I want to like just have a good time because this is a cool place, and you know, but like it's so stressful.
Oh, I told you my feelings. You know
Yeah,
what
just like
happened?
anxiety and all that.
Oh man, yeah. I was I was telling him, and this was our first like real outing with people. We did. I feel like we did everything as potentially right as possible, at least with ourselves, with my family, as far as trying to be safe, to keep my family safe, with everything. And the place where so Longwood Gardens is I think they are actually doing a really good job of like the amount of people that come in there. It is a lot less than it typically is, even though the weather was like so gorgeous. Like
Yeah,
they've
they had it
definitely
like
been really.
staggered. Like you come in at noon, you come in at
Hmm.
3. Like
Well,
you could
they
stay as long as you want, but you come in at different times.
right, but they've always done that. But they if they have enough people coming in at those times, they start
They
cutting
start limiting
off.
it.
Yeah, they start cutting them off so that way you actually will only have the number of people that are actually like supposed to come in for that day.
It was fairly clear except for the eating areas.
Yes, honestly, it was. There's enough space to walk around to enjoy without feeling so close together, minus the greenhouse, the conservatory. Um, Even then, they have like a one, like you can only go one way
Mm-hmm.
through through the conservatory and then
Yeah.
back.
There were just some like claustrophobic areas where people were taking, their time, which, they're certainly entitled to, but it was like,
Mhm.
I just want to get through. I'm trying to get out of here.
Yeah.
Uh,
But yeah, I think the most stressful part was, when I was seeing all my friends or seeing all my family, and I was hoping my mom had kind of written an email out to them, telling them what was going to happen, and you know and it was so hard because I wanted to keep them safe, but I also wanted to just like be close to them and like talk to them, and just the anxiety. It was the first time I had really felt that during, like, I'd been really worried about COVID, but I was always in a place where I could be away from other people and still be safe. But the anxiety of being like, what if I'm asymptomatic, and what if they're old, they're a lot of them were much older, and so like being like, I'm sorry I can't hug you, I can give you like an elbow, I can give you an elbow bump, but like it broke my heart to like to do that, but also I still wanted to see them, and I don't know, it created for me this crazy anxiety that like I had to have trouble breathing. Like I felt like I couldn't take a real breath. I thought it was just maybe I hadn't exercised in like 2 weeks and maybe I was just really exhausted. But when I actually like laid down in my bed that night, I realized that it was not that. It was literally anxiety, and to the point where it was. I don't think it was a panic attack per se. I was like looking it up. I don't think it was a panic attack, but it was definitely like an anxiety attack that was basically all day long. Um, so having that first like real experience of like just being, the fact that I was trying to be that cautious for my family, but still being, trying to be safe for them and for us, but still having a good time and still trying to catch up, and just like all those things, all those emotions, all wrapped up into a ball was not great. Even though I still had a great time, but yeah, that was
yeah, it's hard because, I think this trip it was like a vacation, but it had a purpose. Like
frustrating.
we had stuff we were doing out and seeing the family and all that stuff. But we want to enjoy, like, who knows when we're gonna be able to do something like this again. I mean, there are a lot of places we went through and we say like, yeah, we want to come back here and actually spend more time here when it's a little more feasible. But as we're doing it, we still want to be able to enjoy the experience. But it is difficult. Um, I mean, obviously there are, you know, plenty of other people in plenty of other circumstances, but it is interesting seeing it from this perspective, like on a trip, on vacation, where it's like, to some degree we can sort of, do our own thing and be preoccupied with like driving and eating and seeing things and enjoying that experience and not having to sort of like be keyed in to everything that's going on as we might normally be, um, when we're back at home doing our regular thing. So it is interesting to have this sort of hanging over during the trip. Although I will say, like, um, you get a little used to it being out and around people. And, like, there are plenty of places where people aren't wearing masks,
Hmm.
even when it's required. Like, we'll stop at a gas station and it literally right says mask required on entry. And then, like, five people walk in with no masks on.
Yep.
And they're just like,
No,
whatever.
yeah, no one's stopping them.
Right. I think I mean, I'm pretty sure people working have gotten, it must be exhausting, You have to do your regular ass job, and then you have to,
Think about.
be policing people and
Yeah.
stuff at the same time. It's like people are already, awful enough to service workers, and it's like, now you have insane people who are like, masks are tyranny, and they're gonna go and like, I don't know, take a shit on the floor of your gas station or your Target because someone told them to wear a mask. Like I can't imagine like having to deal with that on top of everything else, and you're worried about your own safety, and your family and all that stuff, which is, of course, consideration on any job that requires, close interaction. But I just think about that whenever we go to these different places, gas stations, restaurants, so on and so forth, grocery stores. Um, but still, it is nice that we're able to do this, and it's still lovely seeing the different sites, even though we can't necessarily experience. Um, like there's certain cities we've driven through where it's like, oh, this is cool. There'd be cool stuff to do here. All right, see ya, you know. But we can, see the architecture and see the landscapes and all the trees and stuff like that. Like on this side of the country, we got the changing the leaves, and in California, everything's on fire, so the leaves will be black when we get there.
Yeah, hopefully all of California won't be up in flames by the time we get there.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. But I mean, that's basically just a little check-in today. Thursday.
I'm like, what are we doing Thursday?
Is that a busy day? It is a busy day.
Is it?
It's gonna be. Wait.
Hold on. I have we wrote a whole itinerary down. Let's see.
Thursday is a busy day. We're doing a lot on Thursday. So I don't think I'll have time.
Oh, yeah, we are. That's a busy day.
I will not have time to stream. I can say that now. That's not happening.
Yeah, it's this. Yeah, we're not
It's
doing
all
that.
day.
No. That's gonna be a long day.
Long day. Yeah. So no stream on Thursday.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess I'll see you guys next Monday if all goes well, and hopefully we come back home fine and everything's dandy and sunshine and rainbows and all that stuff. But yeah, anything else?
I don't know. I don't have much else. I was just like, we should do a vlog, and then you're like,
There
let's
you
just do a
go.
stream.
Yeah, I'm
So
too
yeah,
tired.
I know, I am too. But now, as is now COVID, I have a Zoom after this, so I gotta go.
And I'm
do
gonna
that.
take a shower. I'm gonna zoom to the shower.
Zoom to the shower. I zoom.
Yeah, I'm gonna zoom in the shower.
No, you're not. You're gonna just sit in that shower and be like, oh, I'm
Yeah.
so excited.
All right. Well, I think that does it for us because she does have to do her thing shortly, and we get to sleep in a little bit, but I want to take my time going to bed. Anyway, so yeah, we'll see you guys next Monday. Hopefully everything is fine with you, and your week goes okay.
Yeah,
But
stay safe out there.
stay safe. Wrap it up. No glove, no love, huh? At least the first time. The second time, anything goes. All right. See ya. Till next time. Bye.